Course overview. Over the years, with my own experience and extracting the experience of others in books and courses, I have noticed and learned that there are four fundamental things that every human being should have in order to have a successful life. And I call this PIEs. Now, PI stands for our physical part, I stands for intellectual in the PIEs, and E stands for emotional, S stands for spiritual. Now, I have tried many times to live without one without the other, right? I have tried to live when I was very intellectual. At one point, I didn't do exercises. I got very unhealthy. I wasn't very I didn't exercise my emotional needs, so I didn't have very good relationship with my family. I have tried to switch this around and have tried not to use them at all. And life is just not complete. You see, you need all of them in order for you to have a very good life. Now, for those of you that don't believe in God, don't worry. Our spiritual side of this course here has nothing to do with one specific God or anything like that. All right. So for those of you that are not very spiritual or scared of that side, don't worry about it. I'm making it very easy for everyone to have a very common idea about our spiritual side. It's not what you think, and it's going to be great. I think you are going to love that chapter, by the way. Make sure that you watch all the lectures before that. On the next lectures, I will discuss each of these fundamental elements individually and explain how we most use them for us to be successful in everything we do. Keep in mind that I'm going to show you every single trick that has changed my life from having nothing to having everything I want in life and living life at my own terms. See you in the next lectures. There are a couple things that I want you to do before you continue with this course. Actually, two things. First, a journal in a quiet place. Now, I'm not asking you to go and buy a journal, but get a notebook, something where you can write some information down. And you remember that you are not going just to write any information. This information will change your life if you apply it. But if you don't remember it, you won't be able to apply it. So I want you to write it down. This was a mistake that I did many years ago, and I would never do it again. I will always write down the important informations, always on a piece of paper or even in my tablet or my computer. Also, find a quiet place that you can pay attention to this course. If you don't understand the course, you can't really apply that information. So make sure that besides writing down your notes, find a quiet place so that you can listen to me. Now, taking notes is power. I know knowledge is power, but taking notes is power also, because it's knowledge written down on a piece of paper, or it could be any device. It doesn't really matter as long as it's there. Your knowledge is there, so you can access that knowledge whenever you want. You see, I made many mistakes over and over again, and I missed a lot of good tips and information just because I didn't write it down. You see, we cannot possibly remember everything that we listen to. If we take notes, we can free our minds from trying to remember all these things out there and use that mind power to be more productive into applying that information instead of remembering. There are so many books and courses out there, and yet people don't change after listening to them. Why? Because they don't apply what they listen to. And the other is because they can't remember the steps. So get into the habit of writing down the important things so that you may later reference that information and apply it to your life. Physical state overview. You might be wondering, what in the world does our physical state has to do with being successful? Being healthy physically is the cornerstone of living a long life and achieving more things. I have to tell you that exercising is at least 40% the reason that I'm so successful today. You see, when we exercise, we release stress. We get more energy and we make our bodies stronger. There are a lot of benefits that we obtain when we exercise. Our body is the instrument that we use to carry out our everyday tasks. If we don't have our bodies in good condition, how are we going to accomplish anything? Anything that we do in this world requires us to use our bodies to do it, right? And most things require our bodies to be in what? Good conditions to do it, right? Well, in this section here, I will discuss the problems that not being physically active can cause to your life and how we can solve them. We are also going to formulate this plan, this action plan that you can put into practice to start seeing results that will change your life like they did to me. You are going to love this section here, and I can guarantee you that if you apply this information, you will see results really fast. Physical problems. There are many problems that are caused by not exercising your body, but here are the major ones that destroys us quickly and silently. Stress, anger, depression. There are many other ones that really branch out from one of these, because stress causes sickness, anger causes other mistakes that we make, depression causes us to isolate from people. I mean, if you can see the pattern here, they branch out to other things. But here are the major ones that are caused sometimes when we don't exercise every single day. Now, let's talk about stress for a minute. When we are stressed out, some of us get sick. And I found this one out through my own experience. I noticed that most of the time I had a cold or had any type of sickness, it was when things were not looking so good in my life. Sometimes I took it out on other people, people that I loved. I spoke to them in a bad manner, and I didn't even know that I was doing that because I was so stressed out. Sometimes we can't even concentrate. Have you noticed that in school or work, when you are really stressed out and have a lot of problems, you can't really pay attention to what you're doing? Our minds is so focused on that stress that sometimes it brings more stress to your life. All right, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Anger. Anger is another problem that most people get and don't understand why. Why did I wake up so angry today? Why do I feel this rage inside of me? I got to tell you that exercise will help. Exercising every single day will help with your anger, and I am a true believer of that. You see, when we are angry, we make bad decisions that cause us further problems. Sometimes we make mistakes in anything we do while we are at that specific state. Have you done things that you later regret when you're angry? Well, guess what? Exercising can help with that also. The last on my list here is depression. When we get depressed, we don't do anything and end up procrastinating and leaving those things that we can do today for tomorrow when it might be too late. We isolate ourselves from people, which in turn can increase our depression and cause other problems. When we get depressed, we don't see enjoyment in anything we do. I don't know if you can relate to that, but when I was depressed, I didn't even want to see anybody. We stop enjoying everything that's really fun in our lives, and we start concentrating in trying to isolate ourselves from people because we don't want to be around anybody. Everybody else is doing fine, and we really don't care, right? Well, in the next lecture, I will show you how to solve all these problems by following some steps that I use myself to deal with stress, anger, or depression. It is crucial that we avoid or resolve these problems before we can move on with our lives to do other great things. Keep in mind that these were one of the things that actually stopped me from being successful when I was trying really hard to be one. Now, a lot of people can have depression and not even know it. Keep in mind that I had depression for many years and I didn't even know. Depression is a silent killer and a lot of people don't even know they have it. If you feel sad most of the time, maybe discouraged, tired, bored, or even moody, you might have depression and not even know it. Now, on the next lecture, I will tell you exactly how I did it, how I solved this issue, and how I don't even have any depression. I don't take anger like I used to take it before. I use anger to my own advantage now, and the stress is past history. I see you in the next lecture. Action plan. Here's the plan. You need to rest enough time for your body to recuperate from all the energy spent during your waking time. When you wake up, have breakfast right away. I'm talking about right away. Brush your teeth, do what you need to do, and go and head yourself to the kitchen. Have breakfast right away. After that, 20 minutes after, start exercising. And I will drill down this a little more so that way you can have an idea on how I do it. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about sleep for a minute. Now, sleeping time, a lot of people have this confused. You see, a sleeping time really depends on each person's metabolism. I recommend a maximum of 8 hours of 8 hours of sleep. A little more than that, and you're really making yourself really lazy. Now, some of you out there might need to sleep a little over 8 hours for maybe 2 or 3 days until your body catches up with all of those nights that you didn't get enough sleep. All right, now make sure that you get enough rest. There is a difference between getting sleep and getting rest. You see, anybody could sleep, but not anybody can rest. How do you know when you rest, and how do you know when you sleep? When you sleep, you wake up all tired, sluggish, you don't want to do anything because you really did not rest. When you rest, you wake up all energetic. Your mind is fresh, is new again. Now, what is the problem? How do we actually get to the point of not resting? Well, in my case, I had so much stress before that when I went to sleep, my body never stopped. My brain never stopped trying to figure out how I was going to get out of that stress, how I was going to be able to figure out what was going to take me from point A to point B. So I never stopped. I watched a lot of TV, I ate before I went to sleep. So the secret to getting a good night's rest is to stop everything you are doing at least 1 hour or 1.5 hours before going to bed. Don't drink anything 1 hour before. Don't watch any TV. Don't talk about problems. Don't think about problems. Don't talk with anybody that can cause you a problem. Just relax. Go outside. Look at the stars. Think about good things. Get a cup of tea that will help you rest. There are so many teas out there that can really relax you and put you in a mood to rest. Then when you go to sleep, just think great things. As a matter of fact, you know what? Don't think about anything. Just go to sleep peacefully. This will help you rest. I can guarantee you. Once you get a full night of rest, wake up early and have a nice breakfast with healthy things that include protein. So start and eat early. All right? Wake up and eat early immediately. Eat healthy things like proteins, vitamins, minerals. Remember that breakfast is the most important food of the day, and it could make your day or break your day. Another thing is that don't overdo it. You don't have to eat everything that is in the plate, all right? And I know because I'm guilty of it. Until I don't see the plate, sometimes I have this thing, until I don't see the plate completely empty, I keep eating, and I could be exploding, and I keep eating. Well, just to tell you a long story short, I actually have my watch actually lets me know, all right, if I take too long eating, that means that I'm actually overdoing it. So I time myself, even though you don't have to time yourself, but I know I don't take more than 5 minutes or 10 minutes to eat a special breakfast. So I kind of time myself most of the time to know when I'm taking too long. And sometimes my watch will help me and beep and give me and say something like, "Hey, you're eating too much." I would set myself up an alarm. Now I know that might sound crazy, but I do whatever it takes to keep track on how I do things in the daytime. All right. So another thing that I recommend to do, and this is 15 minutes every single day, is exercise. And I recommend you to start walking, running, or even dancing. Anything that has to do with pumping more blood into your system. Well, not pumping more blood, but making your blood flow better in your system. Cardiovascular exercises. Anything that makes your heart beat faster. Pump more blood to your organs. Move around. Do things. Don't just stand there. Don't just lift one weight here in one arm and one weight there. Make your heart stronger by walking, running, or dancing. Now, if you have a heart problem, of course, I'm not going to tell you to start running out of nowhere. But have you seen really old people that start running and they run a lot? Well, they're trying to make their hearts a little stronger so that way they can last a lot longer. Now, when you're done exercising, replenish your body with water. This is very important. A lot of people just drink 1 cup of water a day and think that's enough. Any grown person needs to drink at least over 6 cups of water every single day. Remember that we are made of mostly water in our bodies, and that's the essential thing that we need to survive the most. Water is the most important thing that we need besides food. All right? So know that. Now, one thing that I need to tell you is that you need to be consistent every single day. And this is what makes the difference between a poor and rich mentality. Let me ask you this. Do you want to have success? I'm hoping that you answer yes, because then you need to pay the price. And the price is what? Hard work combined with consistency. There is no way around this. Our world is built like this. Remember this. We get back what we put in. Very simply stated. Once you start exercising every single day, you make a habit of it. And then you start enjoying it. Once you do it many times, it becomes a habit and you don't even have to think it twice to do it. You do it automatically without thinking about it. Then after a while, guess what? You'll be looking for more ways to challenge yourself to another level. At this point, then you can start enjoying your new lifestyle. And guess what? There's a lot of benefits that come with a lifestyle that is active. Right? And you will later find out about this. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to this lecture, and I see you in the next one. Intellectual state overview. Every animal or plant grows as much as it can. You never see an animal saying, I'm not growing anymore, or I'm not learning to hunt anymore. Why? Because they don't have freedom of choice to say no like humans do. Humans are the only beings that have the freedom of choice and make life-changing choices every single day. Some of these choices affects us in a positive way and some affects us in a negative way, right? Well, on the next lectures, I will show you the main barriers that stops every human being from growing intellectually, and I will also show you how we can stop it immediately. We are also going to create an action plan that will allow us to be the Albert Einstein of our own minds, and how we can grow intellectually without limits to create the life we always wanted. I think you're going to love this section here for those of you that want to grow intellectually. Thank you so much, and I see you in the next lectures. Intellectual barriers are the main cause for our society making bad choices about our leaders, the schools that our kids goes to, making bad decisions about dating someone, making bad decisions about your future, not knowing whether it's a good or bad decision. You see, when you grow your intellectual, you can make better choices. Here's a list of the most common intellectual barriers we have every single day. We start the list with TV shows that are not productive and have us wasting precious times without giving us any valuable information to grow intellectually. Procrastination prevents us from doing anything today and missing opportunities that we could use to grow intellectually or change our futures. Lack of action, lack of knowledge, lack of anything. If you lack action, you will have lack of everything. Action creates reactions. And if you don't move, there's no way your intellectual will grow. There's no magic wand that can help you if you don't take action. We're going to be talking about that a little later. We're going to be talking about how we can solve these problems. Now, intellectual barriers can cause you not to get ahead professionally, low-paying jobs, a mediocre life, and the list keeps going and going and going. Intellectual barriers destroy great minds. On this course, we are going to make sure that our minds gets all the food they need to become powerful and do great things in life. Join me on the next lecture where we will formulate a plan to give our minds superpowers and take over our worlds and the worlds of others. Action plan. The first and the most important thing I'm going to tell you to do to grow your intellectual is to start reading a book. And notice that I say reading a book, not a CD, not a course, not anything else, a book. Get a physical book, or even in a device like maybe a iPad or tablet, whatever. But start reading it. Reading the words makes our brain work a lot harder than just watching or listening to something. So make sure you do that. Get a book anywhere. Amazon.com is a really great place to grab a book. Even Google has a store for books, for ebooks, like they call it. Nowadays, we can get an ebook anywhere, and we can get it super cheap. For those of you that have a library close to you, get a book. But make sure that you get a book that is good for your cause, meaning that it's something that you are going to be learning to get you to where you want to go, something that you are going to be needing. So make sure that you get something related to what you want in life. The second thing is to learn a new skill. All right, so you know about plumbing, you know about computers. Learn something totally different. That's going to help you. Next thing is challenge yourself. Now, let's further analyze how each of these can help our intellectual grow superpowers, right? So let me just give you plan by plan thing, right? Let me just give you a plan. First, I'm going to give you this plan. Get a book you like. Set a goal to read a certain amount of pages every single day. Don't just get a book and just leave it there and read as much as you can every once in a while. No. Set a goal. Say, you know what? Today I'm reading 20 pages. So in a month, I'm going to be reading this book that's 600 pages. Set a goal for yourself. Stick to it. Do it every single day until you're done with that book. All right? That's going to do something to you psychologically that you have never seen before if you've never done it. I'm telling you right now, once I apply this changed my life. So this is the first thing that you're going to do. Second thing is plan 2. Learn something different every week or every month. Now, why do I say every week or every month? Because now, for some people, it's not realistic to learn every single day. You can, because the internet is power, right? There is information around us, so we can learn anything that we want every single day. But some of us are busy. Some of us have lives, kids, right? Wives, and things that we got to do. But make sure that you are always learning something different. This pushes your mind to different comfort zones. Right? The trick here is to push our minds, our intellectual, to another level. If we continue learning things that are easy for us, we will stay in the comfort zone. So if I know about computers and I just keep learning about computers, okay, I become specialized in computers. But guess what? Our minds are going to be comfortable. We need to push our minds to a whole different level. So if you're learning, like, say, I don't know, HTML today, when you finish that, go learn something about PHP. Go learn something about Java. Push your brain to an unrelated technology or an unrelated thing, subject, and see yourself grow intellectually. Put your seatbelt, grab your steering wheel, and take a drive to another level by learning something different starting today. Write it down. Don't forget. Plan 3. Challenge yourself. Every single day. Once you finish a book, get another book. Why not? Then when you finish that one, get another one. Always keep reading books. This will help you not only in your life, in your current life, right now, but for your future. Remember that books will help you be creative, right? Books will help you with your vocabulary. Even will help you even with your social intellect if you read books about that, of course. Make sure that you read books about logical intellect, which is really good for logical situations, or even verbal intellect. Some of you need to improve your vocabulary, or maybe you need to improve your language. Get work on that. Get start working on that right now. Why wait for tomorrow, right? Challenge yourself. Read more books. Learn more skills. You finish one skill, jump to the next one. Don't stay there. You just know one thing, right? Every single day I try to learn something different. But guess what? Realistically, I learn something totally different every week and every month. That's why I tell you, when you learn a new skill, realistically, do it every week, do it every month, depending on the skill, of course. If it's a skill that requires you to learn in 1 year, that's 1 year. But learn something different every day. Always try to do more and push yourself to the next level. Now, the next thing is to be consistent. Do it every day, every single day. Make it a habit. And once you make a habit, then start to enjoy it. The most important thing is always, always to be consistent in whatever you do. Don't neglect on your intellectual. Your intellectual is going to take you to new heights in your life, your professional life, your emotional life, even your physical life. Grow your intellectual today. Start applying what I just showed you. Go back, rewind this video here. Write it down if you have not written down all this information and start applying it. I'm telling you, once I started this, I started seeing results in my life the first month. By the fourth month, miracles were happening. I have so much success in my life that sometimes I forget that not a long time ago, things were not totally that easy for me. They were not as successful as I am today. I was not successful, right? So apply this information. Don't just watch me and just digest it for now. Go back if you don't have all that information. Write it down and read it 100 times and start applying it right now. I wish you the best, and I see you in the next section. Take care. Emotional state overview. So what is this emotional state that we need to be in order for us to be successful? You might be asking. Well, have you ever shook hands with a really successful person like, I don't know, Michael Jordan, Jennifer Lopez, Tony Robbins, or maybe any other famous successful person that you know? I don't know if you do, but if you have, but I have. And I have to tell you that their energy level is out of this world. You speak to them for 5 minutes and you can literally feel the vibration of their being all over your body. You get goosebumps. Now, maybe some of you can relate. Now, I have to tell you that all these people have something in common. They have really good daily habits that they use to put themselves in a really good emotional state. Now, you can go ahead and read their stories if you want, and you can see how right I am. Oprah Winfrey does meditation. Michael Jordan practices a whole bunch of times in the day. All right. Now, all these people have some type of things that they do every single day to put their minds in really perfect emotional state, in a really high level. Now, I often get people tell me all the time, how they feel my energy when I speak to them, how they feel my energy when I get into a room. And this is because I try to be really positive on everything I do. And now I don't try to be, I am. You see, I put myself in a really high level emotional state for everything I do. If I speak to you, I'm going to give you my 100%. Why not? If I can, why not do it? Right? Don't ever hold back on anything. Always try to do your 100%. And if you know you're not doing 100%, do not do it at all. Now, many people failed at this because their emotional state needs charging, needs boost. Now, we're not machines, nor are we perfect. Every human being needs physical charging like foods, rest, and we also need emotional charging like positive things we see, things that we do, things that we hear. Now, in this section, I will discuss the problems that some of you have, and I know I'm guilty of it, on how we can and how we can solve them to finally gain control of our emotions, and then, gain control of our lives that we have left on this earth. We are also going to formulate an action plan so that we can put all this knowledge into practice and start getting that emotional boost that makes other people tremble when we speak or do anything. So get ready for that. Emotional problems. There are many problems that are caused by us not being mentally, well, emotionally actually healthy. I'm not saying that some of us are crazy or we have problems in our brains or anything like that. I'm just saying that we are not emotionally aligned with what we really want in life. Now, let me give you a list of the most common emotional problems: anger, mood swings, hopelessness, anxiety, fear, feeling disconnected, and confusion. I'm guilty of all of them. I don't know about you, but I'm not very shy when it comes to telling you exactly what my problem was. Why? Because I don't have them anymore. Now, I'm not going to define each of these in the next slide or anything like that because I want to concentrate in a solution. I want to make your emotional state level really high so you never get any of these. And if you do have them now, you can eliminate them really quickly. Now, emotional problems can cause financial problems. They can cause relationship problems and even physical problems. Emotional problems can hold you back, period. You will never be able to achieve anything unless you resolve these problems, unless you avoid them and you stop them. Now, let's do it. In the next lecture, I will show you how I boost my emotional state so high that even other people can feel my energy when I speak or when I do anything, and how you can do the same thing or even do better than me. Action plan. Feed your mind good stuff all the time. Hang out with positive attitude people. Help somebody in need. Now let's go ahead and drill down on all of this right now. So feed your mind. What can you do to feed your mind? Listen to courses like this. You might find one word spoken by a successful person that could change your life in 1 second forever. Read books that will inspire you to become great. When we read inspirational books that touches us, we can see the words in those pages stuck in our brain, right? We can see that they have been printed by a magical wand of some kind. Books change lives. They change life all the time. So read up. Watch motivational videos. You can feed your mind watching motivational videos. They could transform your life. Now, there is this guy that I saw on YouTube with no legs and no arms, living a beautiful life despite his limitations. You can go ahead and look it up if you want. No legs and no arms, if you want to look it up on YouTube. And that immediately will give you an emotional boost that you can use to take you to another level. Now, the next thing is hang out with Michael Jordan. Of course, I don't mean to literally do it, but I mean hang out with big people. And I don't mean tall people. I mean successful people, people that are very positive. Go call your closest friend. Make sure that he's positive though. Don't go hang out with a friend that you don't care much about or somebody that really envies you. And well, of course, we're not going to call those friends, but you know what I mean. Get involved in your community. Many of you out there are shy, are scared, maybe embarrassed. The community is a free place where you can go and volunteer to do things. Believe me, you're going to find people that are positive. You're going to find people that want to help other people. And this is the places that you need to be involved in. For some of you, maybe church or even friends at work. My point is that you can find places where there are many positive people there. Associate yourself with these people and get some of that emotional boost that you need in your life. Help somebody. I know you might be asking yourself, how am I going to help somebody if that person that needs help is me? Listen, by helping other people, you are really helping yourself, because helping brings, positive things in your life. It makes you feel good. It brings positive energy that when you give in, you always get back, and you get it back 10 times. And I'm a witness of that energy coming back to you. Believe me, always help. Give to the community, give to a friend, give to charity, help a hungry kid. All right, I tried that many times. I sponsor many kids, and it feels great, and it comes back to me 10 times over and over again. Of course, I'm not saying give all your money to do this, but when you are thinking maybe to eat a fancy dinner, why not get some a regular dinner and feed somebody? Give to charity. Be a mentor. There are many kids out there that need some type of knowledge, something that will help them be a better person. Just like you right now, you're getting this information, and maybe you have taken all the courses in your life. Why not use that knowledge and help other people? Give back to the universe, and you should see rewards very soon. Now, be consistent. Do it every single day. Make it a habit, and while you're doing this, enjoy it. You see, the trick is not just to do it because I'm telling you to, because it's going to come back to you. And it will not come back to you unless you do it from your heart. Be consistent at whatever you do, and you should see results. Now, some of you might see results in a day, a week, a month, 2 years, 3 years, but believe it, you will see results. Now, the results don't come immediately most of the time, and they don't come in the same way. You might help a hungry child today, and of course, you're not going to get 10 sacks of rice next day. You might get that coming back to you in a financial way, maybe in a healthy way. Maybe you become more healthy because you get all that positive energy in your body again, and you are able to do other things with that energy now. Energy keeps going around and around all over the universe. It's up to you if you want to give to the universe to get it multiplied to your life 10 times. Get back. Remember, we get back what we put in. Thanks again, and I see you in the next lecture. A spiritual state overview. I included this section here because it is a crucial part everybody needs in order to be successful in everything they do in their lives. I will not be talking about one specific God. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it creator. You can call it God, universe, energy source, universe, or you can believe in many gods. What I would tell you is this. Getting in touch with my spiritual side has been one of the biggest reasons why everything in my life is so abundant and growing every second. If you want to become fully successful, then don't miss this part and have an open mind about it. See you in the next lectures. Our spiritual side. In this section here, I'm not going to be focusing on one God, many gods, books from thousands of years ago, or anything like that. I'm going to be focusing on something that everybody else has in common. Everybody has in common. We are all made up of energy. If you don't know much about the subject, when you finish watching this lecture, you can go ahead and do a Google search on it. Go and find out what this energy thing is all about. But just know from my experience and from all the books I have read and all the information I have over the years that we are all made of energy, and our thoughts produce energy. There is even an experiment on how they can measure that our thoughts produce either good energy or bad energy. Now that we have that clear, I got to tell you that it doesn't really matter what you believe in unless you are connected. You see, once I got connected to my spiritual side, I was able to connect all the dots together and transform my life 100%. This is the key of everything I have told you in this course. From the beginning, from the physical, from the intellectual, and from the emotional side, right? You will never be able to put all these dots together unless you have the spiritual side in place. Putting everything together and then connecting it with the spiritual side is going to change your world around. Now, some of you might not believe in what I'm saying to you. What I'm trying to give you, what I want you to do is have an open mind about it. All right? Because I'm telling you stuff that has worked for me. So I think it's worth your time at least listening what I have to tell you. You see, the problem is that a lot of people believe they have a belief system, but they are not connected to it. because either you are maybe too busy or maybe you just don't want to do it because you don't feel like it. But it's super important for you to direct all that energy to what you want. All right? Our belief system in the world, in wherever you are right now, is the most important thing. And we are going to change that. If for some reason you're not having success, I'm going to show you how to get connected to your spiritual side and change your life immediately, starting today after you watch this course. So in the next lecture, join me as I let you know step by step how to get connected with this source of energy and with your belief system and take your life to another level. Action plan. This section alone can change your life. Connecting all parts of this course that I have given you together with this will make a formula that will change your life faster than you think. Keep in mind that I'm giving you my personal routine responsible for making me a success just after the first month of using it. Now, of course, I made a lot more success right after I kept using it and using it. But the first month I started seeing results that I could not believe. Depending on how well you apply this, it really, really, really matters how well you apply this. All right, this routine could change your life immediately. Now, let me give you the list in order on how I do this. First thing I do is prayer. Affirmation is the second thing. Third thing is meditation. And the fourth thing is visualization. Now, let's go ahead and further analyze how each of these work and how I use them. Now, what I do is every single day I wake up and do a prayer of 2 to 5 minutes. This is super important, right? So just to give you an example, and a prayer could be anything. I pray that I would be successful today in selling my car to John Doe. Be specific when you are praying to your belief system. Example number 2, I pray that John Doe gets cured from this disease. I pray that all his infected cells from his body disappear. Now, do this constantly until you get results. Now, of course, not all the time you're going to get the results you want. It really depends how much faith you got and how constantly you do it, how consistent you are with it. All right? So keep that in mind. The second thing I do is affirmations. Now, there are many books on affirmations. There are books that will give you a list of affirmations to give you an idea. I'm going to give you a couple ideas here. Now, keep in mind also that there are many books on prayers, all right? I forgot to tell you that in the first slide. There are many books on prayer to show you how to pray. Now, this is how I use affirmation. I use affirmations to affirm who I am and who I want to be. So after I'm done with prayer, I sit down and I got a list of affirmations that I wrote down, my own personal list, and I say something like, I am healthy. I am powerful. I'm getting closer to becoming successful. I'm getting better and better every single day. And you can use probably being a little bit more specific about what you're getting better at. But just to give you an idea of the things that you can use as affirmation. All right. Now, this will play a very psychological part in your life and will in time help you become that what you are affirming every day. Guarantee. Now, it really depends how much faith you say it. All right, and how you say it. So make sure that you're saying this in a way that you believe it. Right? Now, meditation is the third thing that I do. Many successful people, famous people, including myself, do this. And this allows us to transport ourselves to another world. Now, you might not believe what I'm saying to you. It might sound just crazy, right? Well, meditation, I was one that did not believe it, as a matter of fact. When I first started, why did I not believe? Because I tried it many times for many weeks. And it did not work for me until I learned how to use it properly. Now, there are many books on this. And, you are welcome to try it. I'm just going to show you the way that I do it. But this is something that it really depends on how people use it and how well they get connected. This will not work unless you get connected. Now, I'm going to give you a couple clues on how you know you are connected. All right? So keep tuned to what I'm about to tell you. Now, this is the way I do it. I start by sitting around in a quiet place, and I do this at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when nobody's going to bother me at all. I close my eyes and I start taking thoughts out of my mind. I try to clean my mind and concentrate on my dark space inside my eyes. You see, when you close your eyelids, right? You if you have light, you can see the light reflection from your eyes, right? And if you are in a dark place, you can see that dark space inside your eyes. Concentrate on that dark space and concentrate, or that light space, and concentrate on your breathing. What you're gonna do is you're gonna breathe in and breathe out. Now, I'm not a professional in meditation, all right? And this is the way I do it. And I'm recommending you to do it that way, but you are welcome to get a book, or you're welcome to watch a free video online on how to do it. But this is super important. This will help you get connected with a source energy that has all the power that we need to do things, wonder things in our lives. So when you close your eyes, you concentrate on the dark space there, and you breathe in. You breathe in like this. You hold it a little bit, and you breathe out everything you can breathe out, and then you breathe in again, and do this for at least 1 minute. But make sure that you have no thoughts. And now in the beginning, you're gonna probably think that you don't have any thoughts. But then as you later find out, you're gonna see that you have a lot of thoughts in your mind, and you need to come to a place where you don't have any thoughts. So little by little, work on this until you get no thoughts in your mind. And the way I do this is that I concentrate on my breathing, and I concentrate on my eyelids. So I see that dark space, and I hear and think about my breathing. You do this for a minute or two, and you're gonna find your place in a you're gonna find yourself in a very quiet place, very relaxing place, a place where you feel like you are in the air, and this is where you know you are connected. All right, use this every day for a minute or two until you get connected. Once you get connected, you're gonna do wonders in your life. All right, I wasn't even aware that I had so many thoughts until I started doing meditation. It's gonna put you in a better mood for the day, and it's gonna help you get connected. Now, there are many meditation books and videos online. I suggest for you, if you don't know how to do this, go and find out some more information about it. All right, I hope you're writing this down, because these are very important information that I'm telling you. Now, lastly, what I do is visualization. This is actually the most important of all of them. Now, all of them work together for me. Visualization is so powerful that at one point I thought I had magic. I thought that I was a being from another planet, because everything that I had imagined had occurred in my life. Okay, I'm going to share something that might sound a little crazy to you right now. When I was a little kid, I always dreamed of having this special car. All right, and I always imagined this car, and my imagination wasn't as powerful as it was, a couple years after. I was just a little kid. I didn't know how the car felt inside, or how it smelled, anything like that. I just knew the car from outside, right? I just knew the color of the car and the brand. So I always kept that thought in my mind. When I got bigger, when I got older, I started imagining other things about the car, because I already seen the car. I already even test drove the car one time at a dealership that I used to work on. And I started imagining the seats of the car, the smell of it, the way how the steering wheel felt. And every time, every day, even at nighttime before I went to sleep, I always imagined this. And I was very young. A couple years after, I got the same car with the same seats, same color, and same everything. I didn't realize I had my dream car. I realized I had my dream car when I started finding out about visualization. Once I read a couple books and I started finding out the power of this, then I started looking at my life and see how everything I have visualized until now has become a reality, even the bad things. So this is super powerful. This is the way I do it. I sit down, I put my headphones on, right? I listen to music that has no voice. I don't want anybody influencing my mind, especially when I'm visualizing something I want, telling me something about some girls, or telling me something about killing, or something crazy, right? Because there are many different kinds of music out there. Believe it or not, they influence our minds. So you want some type of music that has no negative or positive, just neutral and no voice. All right? Or maybe positive things. But anyway, so I sit down, put my headphones on, close my eyes, and I start imagining that I want in every specific detail. All right? Look at it, smell it, feel it, everything. And you do this consistently every single day. And believe me, my friend, you will get that and more into your life. All right? These are the last 4 steps that I use to create everything in my life. every single day. Prayer, affirmations, meditation, and visualization. Write it down. Don't forget. Get your notes and go back to the video if you missed something and make sure that you write it down. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching this lecture here. And I want to help you get the best out of this course. If you have any questions, let me know. Follow this consistently every single day and you should see results very quickly. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Things to remember. Now we have come to the end of this course here, and I want you to remember a couple things. The first thing is PIEs. PI stands for P for what? Physical. The I stands for, if you got it, intellectual. The E stands for emotional. And the S stands for spiritual. Remember, these are the 4 things that you need to balance in your life to be successful. Now, I also want you to remember that everything around us is energy. Once you remember that, you can go back to the lecture there and refresh your memory a little bit with information that we went through. Remember that thoughts produce energy. So if you think about negative stuff, you're going to get negative stuff back to you. If you think about positive stuff, of course, you're going to get some really good things in your life. Everything is made of energy. Remember that. Now, with everything you do in life, be consistent. If you want to find work, be consistent. Look for work every single day. Don't stop. You never know when you might find work, right? So if you want to date somebody, be consistent about it. Send that person flowers every day. Send that person a note every day. Tell that person something good every day. Be consistent about what you want. If you want to write better, write every single day. If you want to get better at any skill, make sure that you practice every single day. And anything you do in life, you need to be consistent. You need to have discipline. This is the only thing that's going to help you obtain what you want. So you might be asking where to go next. You shouldn't take any other course, and you should not read any other books on fixing your life until you are done with this information. At least try this information for 30 days or 60 days. Try it out. Apply everything you have learned here. And the reason why I'm telling you not to go anywhere else is because that happened to me. I took many different courses online and I got confused and nothing worked for me for a very long time. Why? Because I had never took the time to apply something. You see, sometimes we apply information the wrong way and it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for anybody. So make sure that whatever you use, whatever you are doing, apply that information and try it a couple times until it works out for you. Then if it works out and you want to jump to another level, then go ahead and do it. Take the next course. But don't take another course until you're done with this one, until you have applied all the information that I have given you, because I'm pretty sure this will work for you. Now, lastly, I want to tell you not to forget to review this course and share it with other people. This course will benefit many of you, and I'm pretty sure it will change many of you's lives, because it has changed mine, and I'm giving you the formula that anybody can apply to change their lives. You are watching this right now, and you are a lucky person. Not everybody's so fortunate to have this information. This is my life experiences. This is my formula to success that you have in your hands. We might be different color, maybe different nationality, maybe different language. My English might not be as good as yours. Whatever your situation is, just know that this is just a recipe. And if you have a chicken, for example, and you use the same recipe on that chicken, you can bet money on it that that chicken will always taste the same if you apply the same recipe. And this is the same thing. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. The recipe I gave you will work for any individual that's willing to put it to practice. So lastly here, I want to thank you for allowing me to teach you this information. And I want to thank you for those of you that will give me a review, and for those of you that will share this information with others. You will find out that once you share this information with other people, your life will be also blessed, because you are sharing information. You are putting out there positive things that will change people's lives, and that will change yours. Thank you so much, and hopefully I see you in my other courses. Take care.